Bournemouth 0, Arsenal 3. 3 games, Stevie Nicol, maximum points. How good are Arsenal looking right now?
Well, right now they look really good. The question is going to be the opposition. But the truth is, regardless of who's put in front of you, you can only play well. You can only do the things that you're good at. And no question, again today against Bournemouth, Arsenal did what they're good at, and that is possessing the ball, moving it quickly. Certainly like to get it wide. Martinelli again involved in the goals today. You got Xhaka on the other side, and also they can go through the middle with Jesus. So, yeah, I mean, right now they're getting everything right. They're doing everything right and looking good.
Last week, we did Arsenal 4, Leicester 2. We did the post-game segment. You said Arsenal would not finish in the top 4. Have you changed your mind?
No. No. Listen, they haven't been tested yet. That's the honest truth. The only test they've had was at Crystal Palace, where they won. And I don't think you can say that they deserve to win. Crystal Palace had a couple of chances.
Excellent in the first half, though. I don't think anybody would say that Arsenal didn't deserve to win that one.
How long does the game last?
They won it. They kept a clean sheet.
No.
90 minutes.
No. You said they were excellent. How long does the game last?
Listen, they were excellent in the first half.
The game lasts 90 minutes.
In the first half. Yeah, I get that. I just said they were excellent in the first half. Against Palace, they were.
They weren't excellent in the first half. They were excellent for about 20 minutes. And
they won the game. They beat Leicester.
They won the game.
And they won this.
How you play.
They're top of the table with 9 points from 3 games.
Okay. All right.
So now
you clearly think they're going to be in the top 4.
I do. That's fine. It's subjective. Now, just because you've got the opposition in front of you, you still got to beat them. Spurs in the first half today didn't look great against Wolves. The bottom line is it's probably 3 teams going for 2 spots between Chelsea, Spurs and Arsenal. And out of those 3 teams so far, Arsenal have probably been the best of the 3.
Winning three games against average opposition doesn't qualify you for the top 4.
You can only beat what's in front of you. What more did you want Arsenal to do in these 3 games than they've done?
Well, I'm not arguing. I'm arguing about your statement about how magnificent they were. They weren't magnificent.
Didn't use the word magnificent.
No, they had a fantastic 20 minutes, and then the rest of the game was bang average, and they could have lost 2 goals. So it's 3 games in. That is not enough games for me to change my mind against. Particularly, look, again, they played well today. Yes, I'll tell you what. Who did they play? Nobody. A bunch of cowards. Bournemouth didn't come to play. I'd love to know what Parker said to Bournemouth before this game started, because it wasn't until the first 5 minutes of the second half that they actually looked as though they were putting something into the game. So you know what? If Arsenal want to play against teams like Bournemouth every week, then you know what? They actually might win the Premier League if they played Bournemouth every week, or if they played Leicester, who are toiling, and they've actually got some easy games coming up, or relatively. They got a team in Fulham who have started okay, but have just come up from a lower division. They're actually at home, Arsenal as well. They got Villa, who are struggling big time. Then they play Man United, who are struggling big time. So listen, the fixtures have been really kind to them. They've taken advantage so far, but that doesn't mean they're going to be in the top 4 in 8 months' time.
So if they were
magnificent, because they were magnificent for about 20 minutes against Crystal Palace. Yeah, right.
If they win these next 3 games, are you going to say, they should have won them anyway? Then will you say, okay, I'm now convinced? Or is it not until they come up against, in your opinion, credible opposition that you would then be convinced that, yeah, okay, I'm convinced now?
Well, they've taken a step forward from last year. I don't think anybody can argue that.
Right.
But that doesn't mean they're going to be in the top 4. They've had 3 major signings that have made a big difference. Jesus, no question. Saliba, Zinchenko have all made a huge difference. But you know what? Until they start hitting October, where they've got Thursday, Sunday with the Europa League, then they've got a run of Liverpool and City and Tottenham. Come back and ask me then if it's going to be in the top 4, because up until now, I'm not prepared to say they're going to be in the top 4 because of who they've played against.
That's fine. This will be a thread throughout the season. Don't you worry about that. The importance of goals being
you've already
spread
got
around.
them in the top 4. because they beat Bournemouth.
Right now.
And Crystal Palace. Oh, that's a right tough run of games, that, isn't it?
Moving on. Spreading the goals around. We've seen Martinelli score. We've seen Jesus score. Odegaard got a couple in this game as well. Is he the kind of one that's going under the radar because he's got so much talent? He was going to be the next big thing. He was at Real Madrid. Over the last 12 to 18 months, he's been one of the key signings, but there's not been much fanfare about him, has he? He's a super player.
Well, I would suggest that he's started the season well. I was unsure of where he's, what was the big difference he was making at Arsenal. I wasn't quite sure up until recently. But recently, you're talking about a guy who connects everything from back to front. You're talking about a guy who's made some killer passes into the penalty box. And today we saw a guy getting in the box and putting the ball in the back of the net. So listen, right now, and certainly since the start of the season, Odegaard has shown what his potential has been for a long time. And if he continues to do what he's doing, then no question, he will be one of the reasons Arsenal, if they do get in the top four, get there.
Now, let's not start putting Saliba in the category of goal-scoring defenders like Stevie Nicol, because until you score a hat-trick on a Sunday at Newcastle, then, like you did, you can't compare the two. But you would have been proud of that finish, would you not, from the big lad?
Tell you what, I knew exactly what I was doing written all over it. I mean,
didn't it?
He waited for it to come. He just opened his left peg up. He picked his spot. He bent it away from the keeper. He got it under the crossbar. I mean, that was an attacker's goal. That wasn't a centre back's goal.
It was an excellent goal, and it was nearly 4, but the video assistant referee chalking off the goal, Gabriel Jesus, just offside. Let's end with either a mark out of 10 or a letter grade for Arsenal's performance. You've already mentioned that there's no point in talking about Bournemouth. They didn't show up in the first half, and they weren't very good in the second half either. So I suppose your grade or your score out of 10 is going to be affected by the fact that, in your opinion, Arsenal didn't have too much to beat today. So what are you going to give them?
I'll give them an 8. 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. Listen, if Arsenal can play 8 out of 10 every time they step on the field,
they'll be in the top 4.
They will get in the top 4 if they do that.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.